Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it shall be opened. In our individual wealth journeys, what lessons can we extract and apply from this ancient text? It is always advisable that when one seeks out to find truth, when one seeks out to find wisdom or understanding, it is always important to interrogate for self. Do I have tools to excavate truth? Truth must be excavated. Truth is never on the surface. Whenever one wishes to go for truth, it's important to ask yourself, what are the instruments or what are the tools that I have at my disposal that can help me excavate truth? Truth must be excavated. When we are looking at the face value of this ancient text, it's important to understand that this ancient text brings to the fore three important moving pieces. Usually when we just gloss over this text, we tend to approach and we tend to apply them as synonymous. The ancient text and the author helps us to appreciate what he has hidden within context. It is always important that when you're looking at text, look at how the framing and the structure of context is, because in the framing and structure, it will help you to understand the wisdom and the knowledge that you need to glean from the context of that text. When you look at the context, and it's important that I bring it, particularly starting from 7, ask and it shall be given to you. It is not a question. So whenever you ask, the question is, have you identified the form in which it is given? I've said that receiving is the greatest skill that every asker needs to cultivate. So it's very important that when one is asking, one avails oneself at points of reception. Because if you don't avail yourself at the points of reception, then you might not get the moving part of that promise that ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened. And here is where it gets interesting. For everyone who asks receives. So asking is for the masses. Asking is for everyone. But now when it comes to seeking, it says, and the one who seeks shall find. How does one distinguish oneself from the masses, from everyone who asks receives, to becoming identified as the one? So in true seeking, one needs the capacity to discern. For it is in discernment that you distinguish yourself and you distinguish between what has been availed in your search from what you had intended and what is right. Whenever one is seeking, it is important for us to build capacity to distinguish between that which is good from that which is right. Because that which is good is not necessarily right. At times, that which is right might not appear good from the onset. Let's say you have a malignant condition, a medical condition that requires surgery, emergency surgery. It is good for you that they just numb it down with painkillers, but it is right for you that they perform surgery. So surgery might appear as something destructive in the intervening period, but surgery is what is right. So when one seeks out to seek, when one seeks out to search, the only point whereby one distinguishes oneself from the multitudes of those who have asked is that seeking is particular, seeking is objective, and whenever you're seeking, you need to have the capacity to distinguish between what you are seeking out from what you are not seeking out. Because whenever one is in the search, whenever one is seeking, sometimes, mostly, you are given access to that which you did not set out to seek for. And that is why it's very important. And the author of this ancient text has gone to greater length to particularly hide that in the context of that ancient text. For the one who seeks is the one who will find. But when we come to asking, everyone who asks, I want you to distinguish that when it comes to asking is everyone who asks receives. But when it comes to seeking, it is particular, it is personal, it is objective. The one. In life, in career, all of us need to distinguish ourselves as the one. The one brings in an aspect of particularity. The one who has distinguished oneself, the one who has set oneself to be referred to as an authentic seeker. An authentic seeker distinguishes oneself as the one. For the one who seeks shall find. For the one who seeks shall find. It is not a question of whether there is chance, or it's not a question of whether there are possibilities of finding. Once you have distinguished yourself as the one, in every career, in any space of life, we need to distinguish ourselves as the one. In parenting, I need to distinguish myself as the one. And I need to have that burden on myself. I need to exhibit that attribute of I am very particular, I am very determined on this, and I want to be the one. In my career, I want to be the one. It reminds me of a book, a very phenomenal book that is written by Peter Thiel. And the book is From Zero to One. This book simply says that in any market space or in any area of human endeavor, if you don't distinguish yourself as the one, then you don't exist. In the marketplace, there is no room for number two. In any relationship, there is no room for number two. So the one, you need to ask yourself, in my career, how am I seeking for avenues? How am I seeking for opportunities? It is my duty to come across as the most pleasing personality that opportunity has ever come across. Whenever you're looking for partnerships and networks, it's your duty and my duty to come across as the most pleasing entity that someone would want to do business with. Whenever you're looking for someone to settle down with, you need to come across as the one that is the most pleasing, the most attractive, the most competent, and the most well-deserving. When you do that, you distinguish yourself as the one. Today, remember, in your career, in the spaces in which you appear, if you distinguish yourself as the one, you will always find. My name is Ogwang, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. God bless.